This woman found a job that paid a monthly salary of 100,000 yuan. Her task was to be a nanny for a young boy living in a villa. However, the moment she laid eyes on the boy, she couldn't help but laugh because the boy was actually a porcelain doll. She thought to herself that rich people really do think differently. But seeing the solemn expressions on the couple's faces, she realized she might have offended them. She quickly stepped forward and greeted the doll politely. The lady of the house then explained the daily duties to Annie. The first task every morning was to wake the boy, then help him change clothes. In addition to mealtimes, she had to read him stories and play music for him every day. Although Annie didn't understand why such things were necessary, she decided to follow the instructions since she was being paid well. But then, the husband said something even more bizarre. He claimed he often felt like their son was still there, even though he had been gone for a long time. Annie didn't quite understand what he meant. That night, Annie accidentally saw the couple talking to the doll in their room, as if they were discussing something with him. When the husband saw Annie standing outside the door, he immediately shut it. Their strange behavior left Annie deeply puzzled. Soon after, the lady came out and gently told Annie that their son really liked her and hoped she could stay to take care of him. From that moment on, Annie officially became the doll's nanny. Later that night, she vented to her friend, saying that if it weren't for the high pay, she wouldn't want to stay in such a place. The villa had no cell signal, the windows couldn't be opened, and there was an eerie atmosphere hanging over the whole estate. But her friend on the phone encouraged her to stay. It was just a doll after all, and the salary was amazing. Annie thought about it and felt it kind of made sense. The next day, Annie saw the lady inexplicably scolding the doll, blaming him for messing up the room. Then, in a low tone, she reminded him to behave well after she left. The whole scene felt incredibly strange. At that moment, the husband called out to Annie from behind. He told her they were planning a vacation and their son had been throwing tantrums because of it. Annie started to suspect the couple might not be mentally stable. Before leaving, the man handed her a list of daily rules for taking care of the doll and stressed the importance of following them. He warned her that the doll was different from other children and should not be angered. Then the woman handed the doll to Annie and left. But it turned out the couple had no intention of ever coming back. The entire villa was now just Annie and the doll. She constantly felt like the doll was watching her. Feeling uneasy, she brought over a blanket and apologetically covered the doll. It felt as though she had become the mistress of this old mansion, enjoying her time alone. The rules the owners had reminded her of were already long forgotten. One night, Annie was jolted awake by thunder. She heard footsteps running downstairs. Following the sound, she arrived at the family portrait hanging on the wall. Their son looked more like a grandson. Suddenly, a pair of arms reached out from the portrait and grabbed her. Annie woke up in a panic, realizing it was just a nightmare.